Hello everyone, Avneet here from Planet Spark. In today's video, we'll discuss properties of integers, the rules which make our calculation faster, easier and smarter. We are going to discuss the closure property, commutative property, associative property and distributive property. Let's get to know what is the closure property. Closure property means when I'm having two integers, whether I'm adding, subtracting, multiplying or dividing, my resultant answer should be an integer. Remember, it is a closed space. An integer should be an integer. It should give the result as integer. So integers are closed under addition. Sum of two integers always give me an integer. For example, let us take, if I'm having two numbers, 2 plus 3. 2 is an integer, 3 is an integer, resultant answer 5 should be an integer. And yes, under addition, if I add two integers, my answer is always an integer. So integers are closed under addition. 10 is an integer, plus minus 7 is equal to 3, again which is an integer. So integers are closed under addition because when I add two integers, my answer is an integer. Integers are also closed under subtraction because difference of two integers also give me integers. If I subtract two integers, my answer will always be an integer. Let's take it with the help of example. 6 minus 5 gives me 1. 6 is an integer, 5 is an integer, resultant answer 1 is an integer. So integers are also closed under subtraction. Integers are also closed under multiplication because product of two integers is always an integer. If I multiply two integers, 5 into 6 gives me 30. 5 is an integer, 6 is an integer, 30 is an integer. Similarly, minus 7 into 4 minus 28, again product of two integers is integer. Integers are not closed under division. Why they are not closed under division? They may or may not, the answer may or may not be integer. 12 divided by 6 gives me 2, which is an integer. But 12 divided by 0 gives me not defined. I cannot define any number by 0, which is not an integer. So just remember, integers are closed under addition, subtraction and multiplication, but integers are not closed under division. Closure property says that the resultant answer should also be an integer. Moving on to the next property after this now. The next property that we are going to do is commutative property, which is very easy. If I say commutative property under addition, let us talk about it. If that means a plus b is going to be equal to b plus a. That means if I'm adding two numbers, the order of adding doesn't matter. If I write down 3 plus 5 or I write down 5 plus 3, both the cases my answer is going to be 8. So commutative property holds in case of addition. But do you think will that hold in case of subtraction also? Let's check. No. A minus b is not equal to b minus a. For the simple reason that 3 minus 5 gives me minus 2 and 5 minus 3 gives me answer 2. So 3 minus 5 is not equal to 5 minus 3. Commutative property does not hold in case of subtraction. Let's check in the case of multiplication. Multiplication is quite easy. A into b is equal to b into a. Let's check with the numbers. 3 into 5 gives me 15. 5 into 3 again gives me 15. So multiplication holds in case of commutative property. But for division, it is not true. A divided by b is not equal to b divided by a. 4 divided by 2 will give me 2. But 2 divided by 4 will give me 1 by 2. So, commutative property holds in case of addition and multiplication, but commutative property does not hold in case of subtraction and division. So, we have done two properties till now, closure and commutative. Let's discuss the third property, that is called associative property. Now, associative property says that if I'm adding, subtracting, multiplying or dividing three integers, the order should not matter. For example, if I'm having three integers, a plus b plus c, I'm adding b plus c first or I'm adding a plus b first. My answer should be same. Taking example, I'm having 2, 3 and 5. In the first case, LHS, I have added 3 plus 5 together in the bracket. In RHS, I'll add 2 plus 3 together. So my LHS would be 3 plus 5 is 8 and 8 plus 2 is 10. Similarly, my RHS would be 2 plus 3 is 5 and 5 plus 5 is 10. So associative property says that order of addition doesn't matter. Does that hold in case of subtraction? Let's check the answer. No, it is not going to hold in case of a subtraction. Why is it not going to hold in case of subtraction? Because when I subtract, my sign changes. Let's see how does it work. A minus bracket B minus C is not going to be equal to A minus B minus C. My integers are again 2, 3 and 5. So 2 minus 3 minus 5 is not going to be equal to 2 minus 3 minus 5. Why? Because 3 minus 5 is minus 2. 2 minus 3 is 1. 1 minus 5. Now 2 minus of minus 2 will give me 4, which is not equal to minus 4. So associative property does not hold in case of subtraction. But yes, associative property will hold in case of multiplication. Let's check for the answer. Now, associative property for multiplication says A into B into C is equal to A multiplied by B and then multiplied by C. Order of multiplication does not matter. Taking an example over here, let's take the numbers as 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4. This can also be written as 2 is multiplied by 3 and then multiplied by 4. Now 3 multiplied by 4 is 12 and 2 into 12 gives us 24. Similarly, 2 multiplied by 3 is 6 and 6 into 4 gives us 24. So associative property holds in case of multiplication. But no, associative property will not hold in case of division, as we have checked that the order of division does matter. So associative property holds in case of addition, it holds in case of multiplication, but it does not hold in case of subtraction. So most of the properties are going to hold in case of addition and multiplication, but not in case of subtraction and division. Now distributive law, that means multiplication over addition. It is a very simple law, tells us how to open the bracket. A multiplied by B plus C. Now outside bracket I'm having A, so A would be multiplied by B as well as A would be multiplied by C. And this plus sign is because inside the bracket I had plus sign. We can take it with the help of example over here. You can put the values, you can check the answer. Let's take the values as 2, 2, 3 and 4. 2 multiplied by 3 plus 4. 2 would be first multiplied by 3 plus sign, then 2 would be multiplied by 4. On simplifying, I'll get 2 into 7 is 14. Similarly, RHS is 2 into 3, 6 plus 2 into 4, 8, again 14. Multiplication over subtraction also holds in case of distributive property. Again, if inside the bracket I have minus sign, I can still open the bracket. This will become A is multiplied by B. Inside the bracket I have minus sign, so I'll continue with minus sign and it will become A multiplied by C. So 2 multiplied by 5 minus 3, opening the bracket becomes 2 multiplied by 5 minus 2 multiplied by 3. 2 multiplied by 5 gives us, 2 multiplied by 5 minus 3 is 2 into 2. 2 multiplied by 5 gives us 10 minus 6. My answer is 4 in both the cases. So distributive law of multiplication over addition and subtraction do hold. In today's class, we have discussed 4 properties. Closure property, the answer says should be an integer. Associative property holds in case of addition and in case of multiplication, not in case of subtraction and division. Similarly, commutative property holds in case of addition and multiplication, not in case of subtraction and division. And distributive law we have done, that is A multiplied by B plus C is equal to A multiplied by B plus A multiplied by C. That was all with the properties of integers. This was Avneet with Planet Spark. Keep learning, keep growing. Don't forget to subscribe. To book your free demo, just check the link or type PSpark in your browser today. Thanks for watching.